Hello, this is my Nightlords collection. This is specifically the Army General that I had that I used in the past when I used to play Warhammer 40k a lot, specifically, especially in 4th edition, because to me that's when it got really fun, storyline wise. And a lot of money went into the commander, which he's known as the Dragon and Nemesis Tessera. During the Eye of Terror campaign, I specifically targeted Black Templar and Grey Knights. So one of the reasons it is so expensive is because of all the trophies I had to get for it. But I had two different versions of his Elite Guard, and if you're wondering why I have these other miniatures here, it's just to show the scale difference between them. I really, really like Hero Clicks and the other Clicks series. And so, like, for example, you have Master Chief with Spartan Laser and Power Girl, which she's my favorite DC superhero. And then the original Miss Marvel before she went crazy and a lot of other weird things. She's my favorite Marvel superhero. But when it comes to comic book characters, there is a couple I think that I do like more than her, including the Punisher, but I don't count him as a superhero. Anyway, I had two different versions of his Elite Guard. Some were like this, and they were extremely expensive point wise and to build. There's another one right there. It was very difficult to get the Grey Knight helmets back in 4th edition because they're solid metal. I don't think they are now. I wouldn't know. But I'd have to use a hand hacksaw to get those helmets off and use them as trophies for the Elite Guard. And this one's case, besides having Grey Knight trophies, this one's depicted killing a Black Templar assault trooper, and he's standing on his dead body. I prefer for them to have snow bases, mainly because on Nemesis Tessera, which was a Grey Knight base during the Eye of Terror, it was a snowy planet. And they like to use nuclear weapons to cause lots of fallout and will cause winter conditions, and so that also helps depict that as well. But if I wasn't using this, I'd be using guys like this. Lore wise, for my own personal guard for my guy, these guys are just as elite as these. It's just they have a different purpose. Also, for his most elite guard, they will have a purple lightning bolt somewhere on their gear, but also going over their right eye. A little bit different with him. Did not finish painting this one, unfortunately, so you're not going to see that. But this one also has the head of a Grey Knight. Not a very good look. I should have had it mounted some other way. Like I said, this is not finished being painted. This was actually very hard to model. It's very unbalanced, especially because the backpack for Jump Troopers, Raptors, I guess, back in 4th edition, those were solid metal too. So I had to add a whole bunch of stuff in his base to help him stay balanced. But he's still a little bit topsy-turvy. Here's the other one. Has a melta bomb on him. Point-wise and model-wise, I always had these guys with a melta bomb just because it would be difficult to... Oh, great. These guys are a little bit dusty. I don't know why, because I kept them in really good condition in a special cabinet. But on to the leader himself. I did something really I can't talk. Did something very unorthodox when I was working on these extremely detailed miniatures. I would paint the pieces individually before I'd mount them. It's not something you should normally do, but that's just what I was doing. Now, if we were just having fun, my friends would allow me to actually count this as having a las cannon. It's going crazy. But I did this for versatility reasons because in 4th edition, what you could have on your heroes, the skies were the limit for chaos. I could have this count as a special warp chaos lance, or I could just have it count as, well, just anything. He has a special lightning claw, which I had to disassemble from the Abdomon miniature, which I also used. He's depicted killing Abdomon here. Had to reassemble him so that it's for a left hand. I removed the projectile weapons on it and decided to make it some sort of plasma cannon. Plasma gun, really. But point-wise, it could technically be anything you wanted. Unfortunately, the backpack and Abdomon himself wasn't really finished. It was going to have room for more and more trophies for things that my character here had killed in combat. This is based off a Space Marine Legion that I could have created if I wanted to go with Space Marines. It was going to be dragon themed. He has killed a Vindicar, and that's a black Templar champion of the Emperor. I think I've almost killed every sort of Imperial assassin with my main character. Killed lots of Grey Knights with them. Killed lots of assassins. Well, I guess that's self-explanatory. Some Black Templar. I think I have killed a Nightbringer, but if not, I still had his head there for a trophy, because I'm sure eventually I would have. I actually have killed a lot of Dark Eldar with him. For some reason, I don't remember if I had any bits for him. They would have been all metal at the time anyway. It would have been a pain in the butt. Supposed to have wings too. I was having difficulty finding good wings to put on them because they were either too small, because I feel like the ones on these are too small, or they were too ridiculously big. Don't really play these anymore just because, again, like most of my miniatures became illegal for 5th edition, and then from then on, definitely just like, and I wasn't going to spend money on that anymore. And this, just because all the parts that were bought for it is over $700, including paints and stuff like that. But yeah, and then what I did like a lot, and I kept on playing, was the Space Battles Battlefleet Gothic game. This is the flagship for the Nightlords Battlefleet Gothic fleet that I have. Very funny tip. Grey Knights are in it too. They have a very special rule. They're extremely dangerous towards any ships in the Chaos fleet that have marks of chaos. The only time Nightlords have any flavor in it is if you make them markless, which is funny because if you pick Nightlords and technically Alpha Legion, that means the Grey Knights lose any benefits they have for fighting you, but they have all the penalties, which price-wise, when you destroy them, they're worth double or even 3 times more in points for victory points. But yeah, I really I miss playing that more. I was a lot better at Battlefleet Gothic. I only lost 1 match in Battlefleet Gothic. And the normal one with these miniatures, I won maybe half the time. Although, like, the people I competed against in that were either veterans from the very, very first version of it. One of them having a word bearer's army that had never ever lost ever, apparently, and then having to work with people that would use me as cannon fodder. I'll never forget it. There was this one Iron Warriors player that was we were both pretty new to the game, but I wanted to fight the enemy aggressively, and because this person, he was one of my friends, he normally is good at strategy games. He was like, no, just stay in front of me and protect my guys. And like, I felt like my army was pointless and just became a meat shield, which was true because barely killed anything. And even the opposing players, after they're done with the match, they said I should have gone with my instincts and not just stood there, because they ended up just becoming a meat shield, and it kind of screwed up things anyway. But anyway, yeah, I still like miniature games. So got the King Alien there, and I got some Imperial Navy Commandos, which I can't wait to assemble. I have a bunch of Robotech stuff, which I can't wait to assemble. I want to collect as much as that as I can, because that game's been discontinued, unfortunately. But anyway, this is my leader for the Nightlords. Oh, and a fun fact. You might not believe this or not, but I became an infamous player during the Eye of Terror campaign. It was a world event. Lots of players from different countries got to compete against each other. We were organizing for playing. I was the Nightlords player that messed with the Dark Angels, and because of how much I disrupted the orders of, the force of order, sounds kind of funny saying it, because how much I did disrupting them and organizing their gameplay, Games Workshop actually put me in one of their novels. But unfortunately, I mean, it's a cool cameo, but at the same time, it's like they depict me as the Nightlords that are messing, again, with the Dark Angels, which would make sense, but the character that's supposed to be me gets epically owned by Dark Angels. So it's a double-sided sword. It's like, yeah, I'm in a 40k novel, but I'm getting destroyed epically by Dark Angels. But anyway, these are my minis, and if you want to see like the full army, it's not finished. I mean, these guys are the closest I have to being finished, and I was doing it part by part, and I wanted it to be special. The rest of them are far from that, although I do have some fantasy still, and they look pretty cool. But if you want to see more, just let me know. Anyway, peace with you, and peace out.